Hi guys, welcome back. It's been quite some time since my last vinyl collection update video. So I have been gone, I've been traveling. I went to the Primavera festival in Spain, which I really enjoyed. And I also went to China very recently. So I haven't had a lot of time for the YouTube thing. But I put out this video on Friday showing some footage from all the record stores I visited in China, in Shanghai and in Suzhou. A few of them at least. Visited more stores that I didn't really film too much at. If you want to take a look at my little video from China, you can find it on my channel. And in that video I mentioned that I will talk more about the records that I pick up. So that's why I'm here, and I will talk about those records and a few other ones that was waiting for me in the mail for when I got back to Norway. You can see in the video that from yesterday that I was outside this shopping mall at the little booth there that we stumbled upon after we had our dinner, and there were some decent vinyls in stock, but maybe not very many that was interesting to me. But the guy there at the store, he tried to sell me a few, the Rod Stewarts and the Oasis and stuff that I'm not interested in. But I really wanted to buy something, and to buy something from that guy. It was very pleasant, and proud of the vinyls that he was selling. And I thought it was time to add something more to my collection of the Beatles, because that's been quite some time since I've done. And I found this live at Hollywood Bowl, Japanese issue of that seemed to be very common. And this was in good condition with the obi strip and everything you expect, nothing missing rather. Yeah. So I guess a common release that I'm not very familiar with. I guess that I've heard the recordings a million times, but I haven't really, thought of, I'm not too familiar with this live album. And I was questioning there before buying that, will this be worth it? Will it just be a lot of audience noise and the seagulls going nuts over all the songs? And sure, they are very present throughout, the audience screaming, but I was pleasantly surprised with how loud the band was in the mix, so it's not overshadowed by the audience. So a very enjoyable Beatles live album from 1970 something, 7 it says. I think this was I'd say about the Discogs price. So yeah, the first one I picked up on the trip. I did visit a few record stores there in Suzhou. Didn't film at all the stores. And actually the times where I got the best footage was when my wife was with me, and she handled the camera while I was preoccupied with the vinyls. Yeah, I get too preoccupied and I'm a bit shy about filming in the stores and whatever, so the footage is what it is. So that was in Suzhou, and I visited quite a few stores there in the Gusu district. A few stores that I didn't film. I came across a lot of stuff that would be easy to find in Europe or in Norway, or order, quite easily. So I wouldn't pick up anything that was not, hard to get in these parts, So, but there was another store in the same street in the Gusu district. You can see the storefronts in my video. I didn't really film anything at those stores, but he had some cool second-hand vinyls, some Bauhaus, some magazine. There was a Richard Ashcroft signed album that was overpriced. There was some Station to Station original pressing, My Bloody Valentine with a t-shirt. Yeah, some cool stuff, but it didn't really convince me to pick anything up there. But there's a third store there in Suzhou, that I found on Instagram, and it was a bit hidden. And this store was more, connected, I guess, with the music scene in Suzhou. It had more like a venue, I think, in the third floor of the building. And in the second floor, you can see me in the video walking up the stairs. Nice store with a decent selection of stuff. Not the big stock, but they had some rare and interesting titles. So I flipped through the alternative rock, I guess, the rock section, the crates, and a lot of stuff that I was not familiar with at all. But I looked up things on Discogs because I really wanted to find something special, and I thought I would have my chance there at the store. And this, just by looking at it, said, okay, this might be interesting. This to me said post-punk, Joy Division, and I looked it up. And I guess I was very right about that. So very similar in style as Joy Division, production-wise. Atmospheric, post-punk. 1985, this release. Was not familiar with this band before, visiting the store, I think. The guy at the store, I told him I was interested in this, and it was very nice. He played me the entire record. Decided I needed to get this, but there was some misunderstanding about the pricing. So it seemed to be, there's 2 stickers, and that was a misunderstanding. But, my wife, she's fluent in Chinese, so she cleared it up when we returned to the store together to pick this up. And I paid, I guess, the Discogs pricing with shipping for this. But I think it's worth it on a trip like that if you find something special that you won't come across easily, because this will give me the memory of the store, and it was such a great experience getting this. So this is my favorite from the trip of my pickups there. I didn't mention it, but it's a mini album. I think they did an album after this, a proper album, and that was it. And I think it's terrific. I've listened through it a few times now. The opening track is very gnarly, but they have some very strong songs on here, very atmospheric and right up my alley. So, and in beautiful condition, and I guess collectible. You have to tell me in the comments if this is something you see in the vial, if you're familiar with this band at all. I think it's some forgotten post-punk, great band actually. So very happy with that, and seeing I've spent some money there buying that, he gave me this free of charge little 7-inch of something called the Boiled Hippo, local band, I presume, pressed on a Chinese label. But the unfortunate thing, when I got home to play this, I discovered it has the big hole. And that's the first one I have in my collection with the big hole. So I don't have that adapter, and I question if it will be worth it to get that adapter just to check out this thing. But hopefully I'll manage to look it up online. And the next time I go, I should just absolutely try to pick up more of local Chinese bands, because I heard some there at the bar and on the radio, and I thought I need to, familiarize myself with Chinese alternative rock and indie music. Anyway, there was a few more. We went back to Shanghai, and in the video that I put out yesterday, you can see us visiting this posh place, the store we just stumbled upon, which was in this really nice heritage building. And the store was beautiful. They had books and vinyls and a lot of stuff. But not the most interesting selection of music. But the mission that day was to find some other store that, you go on the information you have on Reddit, and but stores disappear, and I had a misadventure, or a few of them actually. But I managed to find the store called Vinyl Villa, which I think is a pretty known store in Shanghai. It's been around since the mid 2000s, I think. And at that store, they had a great selection, more than the other small stores I'd visited in Suzhou and such. And yeah, a lot of used vinyls. So I found a few titles there. I was on the fence about, the Boo Radleys, not in the best condition, so I thought, okay. But this one I couldn't walk away from. An album I've been meaning to pick up for such a long time. A great album by The Echo and the Bunnymen called Porcupine. So this would be, I guess, not that difficult to find at the second-hand store in these parts, but perhaps not this Japanese issue or pressing. The only unfortunate thing is that it's lacking the obi strip, but it has the insert with the Japanese text and the lyrics, and yeah. So also decent price at the store, and in a great quality. And I really love this album. The opening track is one of my favorite songs by The Echo and the Bunnymen, The Cutter. The ending of that song is just sheer bliss. I really dig that track and the album as a whole. So check out the song The Cutter if you haven't heard The Echo and the Bunnymen, for sure. Yeah, brilliant album. And there at the store, I couldn't walk away from this, but it was a new album released in 2019, sealed. It wouldn't be the hardest to, find here in the western parts, but I didn't want to walk away from it because this band is really, something I'm becoming a big fan of. The Twilight Sad. They put out the album of the year, I believe it is still. So been diving back and checking out the back catalog, and I've been picking up a few Twilight Sad albums. I guess this is my third one now, and it's called It Won't Be Like This All the Time, double LP. And I think this is also a brilliant album, really. I've listened to it once, I think, and I thought, it sounds... I'm not going to say on the same level as this year's album, but it seemed to be a very strong release. So glad to pick this up. And that was actually the last one I picked up in China. The Twilight Sad. I do have some regrets. Early in the video, you can see me visiting a store called the Fruity Shop. Very nice shop there, and I regret not picking up the Big Thief album, the Japanese pressing, even if it's not my favorite Big Thief album, but I do have all the other albums, so I feel like, I should probably have picked it up and given it another go. And also there was an interesting release by, I think his name was, I was not familiar with the guy, Kevin Hewitt, and The Sound. So he does some The Sound covers or works with them with some songs. And I checked it out now just yesterday, and I felt like, I really should have picked that one up, which was this limited release. But I will have more chances to visit that store, and perhaps we'll pick it up the next time, if possible. So there's that, and let's talk more about the records now that was waiting for me when I got back home to Norway. First one I bought from Big Dipper's secondhand. They have a Facebook group where they sell secondhand records, and they post pictures of records, and you need to shout out if you're interested. And I was the first one, and I'm glad I was for this one. The Only Ones live, and I'm such a fan of Peter Parrott and The Only Ones, and I'm also a fan of live records, and this one was very, very good. Great condition, and yeah, UK pressing, and excellent set list. You know, you get the classics. Another Girl, Another Planet is probably one you know. Another great songs, Me and My Shadow. But this one, you know, I thought it was just a great performance. I love the songs. Can't hear the audience on this live release. So it sounds very good. Yeah, very happy to grab that. And waiting for me at the store, Big Dipper, was something quite special. This was something I was supposed to pick up for my birthday, but the release, it was postponed, and I think I know why now. It was delayed a month or so. This is just a recent album, actually, 2024, but it was released now in this Deluxe edition, which is very, very cool. So, modern classic by now. In indie rock, the band is called This Is Lorelei. The album Box for Body, Box for Star. So this is the breakthrough album. Last year he put out another one, which was earlier songs that he had prepared for a newer release. But that album is not on this level as this album from 2024. And last week or so, I saw there was a single which was excellent for his next album coming this fall. But this one is really the best that he has put out, in my opinion. And yeah, in 2024 I listened a few times, and I didn't quite understand its brilliance until later. I really caught on to the very wonderful song, Where's Your Love Now, last year. That's included, that's on the album, and I think that's one of my favorite songs of the decade, actually. It's just brilliant. It's become a very special song for me, and for other artists as well, because the thing you get on this double LP, you get the album, of course, and you get the second disc where you have all these great covers of, you know, big names in American indie rock today. You have names like that I'm not too familiar with: Hayley Williams, Sesame, not sure if I pronounced that right. MG Lenderman is doing the song Dancing in the Club from the album, and I have to say he surpassed it with that cover song, superior rendition of the song. Yeah, the original is cool, but that song is so fitting for MG Lenderman for some reason. And the big song that I mentioned, Where's Your Love Now, is done by Waxahachie. And also, the reason why this was postponed, you get Cameron Winter on this thing, whatever you call this. I think, you know, Winter, he's doing a lot of covers, you know, on his piano, and they probably discovered that after they had pressed this, and they wanted to include Cameron Winter's version, because he's such a big name now. Of course, Cameron Winter from Geese. So they postponed the release and added this thing, and it played. Not the greatest sound quality, I think, but it's just this live performance of that very, very brilliant song. And I'm glad they did so. I'm glad they included it, as a fan of Cameron as well. So yeah, other names that I failed to mention, you get Jeff Tweedy from Wilco, of course, and you have Tim Heidecker. Yeah, such a cool thing to do, or to be able to do for your deluxe release. I guess Nate has made such a big name for himself in indie rock, having these big names wanting to cover and do his songs. So I think that speaks to the quality of this album. A modern classic, I wouldn't hesitate to say that. Wonderful. This is Lorelei. Excited for the album that he will release this fall. Next one is another highlight of the year. An album I'm sure that people will put up high on their best of the year lists. Is this wonderful man, Kevin Morby. Little Wide Open, and people are talking a lot about this album. Yeah, I was a bit skeptical in the beginning because I think I told the story before, so sorry Dead Oceans, but I had to return two of the Kevin Morby albums that he released before this because of noise issues on the vinyl. But my brother, he got this before me and he played it for me, and then I could hear that the sound quality on his copy was superb, so I also got this album on Eco Vinyl. Yeah, it sounds wonderful, and the songwriting on this one is so strong. Kevin is painting this wonderful image of his life there in the Northwest. Awesome record. And I'm not sure if it's my favorite Kevin Morby album. It's not. I think it can't surpass the City Music album, which was such a big deal for me when it came out. That has the more of the rocking sound that I prefer. But this is just a different style, just more or same style in some sense, but it's more laid back and more soothing type of a sound. Ken Morby. Let's take a look at the vinyls, the eco vinyls that I think should look a bit different from each, copy, as they are recycled vinyl. So mine looked pretty good. One was blue and one was, let's take a look. Brownish. Yeah, brownish, greenish. It looks green on camera. So yeah, sounded good. Very happy with this one. Nice little inner covers there with pictures. A bit thin, but it has the lyrics there. Yeah. Next one I have now to show you guys is from a band I've been talking about a few times on the channel. I'm collecting all the Chills records, and now I have the 2021 album Scatterbrain, which was Martin's second last album before he sadly passed away. And this one, I really liked when it was out, and it was nice to revisit it now. I've forgotten about it a bit, so I haven't heard it since it was out, I think. But I do remember the song Destiny quite well, which is sort of the highlight on this record. Had a beautiful sky-looking vinyl there. And I just got this now before the stores ran out of this issue. So happy to pick that up. Wonderful music, wonderful melancholic pop music. So yeah. And the next one is a record you guys probably, if you have been watching my channel, would be surprised that I don't own in my collection, but now do, because I've been talking a lot about the Swell Maps, and this is of course the classic debut album from 1979, art punk, post-punk, UK, late 70s, early 80s. Put out some cool albums, and this one is a very strong debut. They on side A you get very fast-paced songs with cool things going on in the production and noise and psychedelia. You get Nicky Sudden, Jovehead, epic soundtrack, and who else? I'm not sure, but yeah. And the side B is more experimental, more instrumental, and but still very engaging. The side B, and on the 2024 reissue that I got, they included this little 7-inch, which it looks nice, the drawings and everything, and the artwork. But this was not the greatest. I think Jovehead is going a bit overboard, testing my patience, which he sometimes are able to do. But yeah, nice enough, I guess. At Home with Jove had. So yeah, but still, the album is just brilliant from start to finish. In either case, and here's another album that's great from start to finish. Another classic. And you guys in the VC, you know this album. I'm late to the game. Discovered this band this year, I guess. More at least. And I checked out the debut album that I fell in love with by the DBs. And this is a sophomore. So it was time for me to get this on vinyl. Listened to it once online, and I remember falling asleep thinking how brilliant it was, and that I should probably pick it up on vinyl as well. And after I got back from China, I have listened to this a few times now, and I think it's actually on par with the wonderful debut. Yeah, the hype sticker here gives it a lot of credit. Pitchfork gives it a 9.0. It's just a very solid album by this power pop trio, American band, if you don't know them. This was also a 2024 reissue, I think, on this mint green clear vinyl thing. And awesome, that's what I have to say. So I will check on more DB's albums, but really liking the first two so far. What else? We have something quite nostalgic from the looks of it, but also not just dwelling in nostalgia, because this is a reissue that was tampered with the actual album. I'm talking about the debut album, a self-titled album by Placebo, and this is the recreated version of that album. And this was a big deal for me in my youth. This was bigger than all the Britpop bands. They were doing their own thing, and to me felt very special. Yeah, I was a bit, obsessed with Placebo around that time in my, in the 90s and furthermore. And this was always my favorite, more youthful, fast-paced and rawer and rougher in some sense. And they've done some nice things to beef this up, to make it punchier. They've done things to the production. They have leveled Brian's vocals to make it fit better in the mix. They've added some backing vocals from Stefan and stuff like that, so it's I guess much improved. I was really on board with what they have done to the mixes. So I'm not a purist at all. I know I've listened to that CD in the 90s over and over again, but this was very nice to revisit in this new shape and form. So I got the black vinyl version of this, the heavyweight black vinyl, and the most boring labels there. That also included a 7-inch. Where did it go? But anyway, the 7-inch includes some B-sides that I remember downloading in the 2000s. And the second disc is basically, I guess, club mixes from the singles, some remixes and stuff like that. I'm not sure if any of these remixes are recent. I'm not sure. I didn't look that up. I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it, but the reason I got this was to check out what they have done to this classic album. So nice gatefold, and it had nice artwork and a little, I think it was a booklet here as well with the lyrics. So brilliant Brian Molko in his prime with Stefan. And here's the 7-inch, luckily. I really enjoyed this. I listened to it once so far, but a trip down memory lane for me, to say the least. Well, guys, it's getting hot here in this room. You can probably tell. Thanks for watching, guys. I think the plan was to talk a bit about the Primavera Festival, but once I do this will be a very long video, so maybe another time. See you guys in the next one. Take care.